Hi, I'm Chia-Ti, and I'm happy to collaborate with COVID Calm to bring you some grounding breathing techniques. When we get stressed or overwhelmed, our nervous system often kicks into fight or flight. And sometimes we're reactive and we snap, and it's hard for us to deal with what's going on. So these grounding breathing practices hopefully will help give us some resource and give us some resiliency inside so that we can deal and cope with whatever challenges or obstacles may arise. So what I'll ask you to do first is just tune into your breathing. This may be the first time you've noticed your breath today, and that's okay. What we want to bring to this quality of practice is kind attention without judgment. So at first, just notice how you're breathing. Notice if your breath is shallow or deep. Notice if the breath is smooth. And our breath gives us a lot of information about how we're feeling and how regulated our nervous systems are or dysregulated they are. So I'm going to practice what's called deep abdominal breathing to hopefully help us to really bring ourselves into a deeper connection with our breath and to ground ourselves. So if it's helpful to you, you can place one hand or both hands on your stomach. And if you feel around for your belly button, you can place your hands there. And try to keep your chest and your ribs soft. And inhale through the nose if possible, and exhale through the nose as well. If breathing in and out of the nose does not feel comfortable, you can breathe in and out of the mouth, that's okay. And you want to find an access point into connecting with this breathing. So you can inhale all the way down so that you feel your stomachs move out when you inhale, and then you feel your stomach move back when you exhale. If you're kind of a visual person, you can imagine a balloon. So every time you inhale, the stomach inflates, and every time you exhale, the stomach deflates. So on an inhalation, you'll feel the belly button move out, away from your spine. And then on an exhalation, feeling the belly button draw back to the spine. Deep abdominal breathing. Staying like this for a few more breaths. Notice if it's a little challenging to breathe this way. Quite often we only breathe into the chest. Stress makes us breathe into the chest. Society, which tells us to have flat stomachs, also makes us suck it in and only really breathe into some part of our lungs and not our full lung capacity. And for whatever reason this breath is not calming or not grounding and you feel more agitated, you can come back to your natural breath or let go of this connection to the breath completely. You can look around the room, listen to sound as a different kind of anchor. But if it feels okay, we'll stay with it for a couple more breaths. And then from here, we'll transition to what's called long exhale. Just as the name implies, we're trying to exhale for longer than we inhale. So if it's possible to inhale through the nose, let the belly button move out, and then slow down your breath so that you have a longer exhale. And you can exhale either through the nose or the mouth. If you're a person who likes numbers or to count, you can keep a count of the breath. So for example, you can inhale for 3, and then exhale for 4, 5, or 6. Just making sure your exhalation is longer than your inhale. When we exhale for longer than we inhale, we signal our parasympathetic nervous system to get online. So our parasympathetic nervous system is the part of our nervous system that counters fight or flight, that allows us to be able to respond to something going on instead of be reactive. So we want to strengthen that part of our nervous system. And we can do this by exhaling for longer. You might have heard people who are like stressed, they're like, I need a woo-saw moment, right? And I like to think about this woo-saw as this long exhale. Right? When we woo-saw, the the idea of the sa is like this long exhale to really help us ground and nourish ourselves. And then from here, we'll move into utilizing one of these two breathing techniques with the somatic hold. So I'll first show you the somatic hold. It's called the asymmetric hug. So you'll place one hand underneath your opposite armpit and the other hand across the chest over onto the opposite tricep. It's called asymmetric hug because you're not holding the hands in the same place on the body. So what you'll do on an inhalation is gently squeeze in towards the heart center, towards the midline of the body. And then exhale, soften the pressure of the squeeze. And you can do this with a natural breath. You can do this with deep abdominal breathing. You can do this with a long exhale. Inhaling, a gentle squeeze in towards the center of your own body. And then exhale to soften. If it feels comfortable and comforting to close the eyes, you can choose that option. Otherwise, perhaps a soft gaze away from the screen for these last few moments of connection to breathing. So that you'll inhale, gentle hug in towards your own self. And exhale, coming into a deeper sense of self-care, your ability to be with what is, and giving you some more strength, internal resilience, so that you can deal and cope with life. Let's take a few more breaths together. And on your next exhalation, slowly release your hands down to wherever feels comfortable. And just take a pause for a moment, just to check in. How am I feeling? And I hope you found one of these techniques useful. And I encourage you to practice them as many times during the day as you need to. Again, my name is Chia-Ti. It's been a pleasure spending this time with you. I want to give a big shout out to COVID Calm for these series of videos, and you can keep in touch with me on my Instagram at One Love Wellness. Be well.